Everyone, so let's start with the most important topic in a SwiftUI, which is a state object versus observed object. So in this video we are going to learn like what is a state object and what is a observed object and when to use which. Like sometimes we are confused while creating the instance of the view model, what to use, state object or the observed object. And also we are facing some issues while using the both state object and observed object. The common issues which we are facing, sometimes like we lose the data when we come back to the UI again, and also updating the some screens and on the tap of action also. So first of all I will like to tell you like what is a state object. So state object like view create and owns the view model, means it is a responsibility of the view like to create and owning the life cycle of the view model. And observe object like it receives from the another view from its parent view and just observe it changes. So like this is what is a state object and the observed object. Now I would like to explain it in a very detail. So for that I am having a one parent view, and in the parent view I'm having a parent view model, and I'm creating the instance of the parent view model using the state object. And in that state object like I'm having a v stack, and in the v stack there is a text field, and after that having a sub view, and in the sub view there is a sub view model, and in the sub view I'm having a button which will increment the value on the tap of button and it will get updated. And after that also I'm creating the stance of the sub view model using the observed object. So now we will see like what will be the issue while creating the stance of the sub view model using the observed object. So let's see. Yeah, so right now I have created the sub view model instance using the observed object. So like when I will increment the value, here I am tapping on increment button and incrementing the value. Now it's 20, and when I try to write something and test example, so you can see like here the incremented value gets 0. Eh, for example I will again tap on increment and I will try to write again something, for example, so again it becomes 0. So here what will happening on writing something in the text field, so SwiftUI is like recreating this sub view. So on recreating this sub view, the view model is also creating it again and again from the initial point. So its value is getting 0, means count is getting 0 every time. So that's why the incremented value is getting lost. So to prevent this data loss, what we do, we can create this object using the state object. So now I have created this sub view model using the state object. Now let's see the changes. So here again I am going to increment the value, and now when I try to write something, so now we are not losing our incremented value. So now if we are when we are writing something in the text field, our sub is also created every time, but state object is not creating every time the view model instance, because it's on the because according to this life cycle of the state object, it will hold the data every time. This is the main difference between the state object and the observed object. And when I talk about the life cycles of each, so state object's life cycle will be deallocated from the memory when the view will remove from the hierarchy of the SwiftUI views, means ki it will be available till our view present in the hierarchy, and after when we remove the view from the hierarchy, our state object will get lost its all data. And when I talk about the observed object lifecycle, so like it will lose data every time when SwiftUI recreates the view in the same view. For example, as we seen in the example also, whenever I'm changing the text field value and whenever I'm trying to write something in that text field, like SwiftUI is recreating the view every time. So in that case we are losing the data. So this is the main difference between the state object and the observed object. And when to use this thing like a state object and the observed object, like when we don't want to lose our data in a sub view, so in that case create a state object, right? create an instance of the view model using the state object, and like when we want to refresh the data every time on the type of action, and when we are not concerning about holding the data, then in that case use the observed object. Yeah, thank you.